influencers, welcome back. It's Nkechi. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a high-level overview of the Domain 1 content, or what you need to know for your RHIA. So this is the RHIA Study Prep Book, 9th edition. This is the most current edition that you can use. And with this edition, this is what everybody should be studying with. Now, you can go down a level or two, but I would say you want to try your best to stick with the most current edition as possible, because then you are up to date with what's trending, what's new, and you don't have any missed information. For those of you studying, I wanted to help guide you as to the content you need to focus on when you're studying for your exam. Now, this is strictly just Domain 1 that I'm going to focus on. For those of you who haven't bought your book yet, it's still in shipment, or you're still in limbo as to if you're going to take the exam or not, make sure you pay attention. This is the video for you. Let's jump right into this video, and I'm going to flip through and start with Domain 1. So Domain 1 of this book is based on information governance, and that is 19% of your exam. The exam is split into various different percentages. 19% of that exam is going to hold this content. The first bullet is evaluating the integrity of health data. This is so important. It's imperative that the records being stored in the database, things that we're documenting on for a patient, is on point. It's accurate. There's no discrepancy on the record. The next one is applying knowledge necessary to process the required clinical data elements for quality reporting. For example, if you're a document auditing specialist, we deal with a lot of data elements when it comes to evaluating a patient's chart and what a provider does. So if a provider did an operation, for example, on a patient, and they did not document all the process and what was done, date, time, and sign is not done as per Joint Commission, CMS, that's going to be a drop the ball on our end. So you want to make sure that you're studying information on that and how reporting and data element is impactful to a patient's record. The next one is understanding and applying data dictionary standardization and policy. And this is important because we deal with a lot of database system, EHR, and the content that they're holding. So if you have a master patient index and a database that a lot of the patient information is stored, you want to make sure that that information is accurate as to what needs to be collected for that patient. The next one is manage data standard based on organizational policy. For every single hospital, every single entity, every single healthcare facility, there are different policies that you want to be sure that you're adhering to. We want to make sure we're following that policy. You're building those policies so that it benefits you for that organization. So studying and understanding those standards are important. The next one is complete data analysis to inform management. This is important because as we gather data, we want to learn from our patients, we want to learn from our providers. And for example, if you're a data integrity specialist or you're a manager that handles that, you deal with duplicate accounts in patients' records. And when you have duplicate accounts, it could be a registration issue where they're registering a patient, or for example, if we have patients registering themselves for vaccination, the system is not accurately capturing who they are to see that they have been seen at the hospital. So that can cause a duplicate. And if we're not able to obtain that and see where these errors are happening and then giving those feedback back to leadership, then it's a problem. So you want to be able to study up for your exam to understand as to why it is important that data is being shared among leadership, stakeholders, organization, project managers, so they can be able to revamp to the need of that organization. Next on the list is applying knowledge necessary to develop policies and procedure for data management and information governance. And this is important because you want to take all that information that you're gathering and being able to read different policies and develop new policies based on new findings. As we move along in the industry, in the world, and what's going on, COVID impact, you want to make sure that you're able to see what is needed. For example, in my area, we've developed work cues that captures vaccination patients, for instance. And so being able to capture that for a patient is important. You want to see how many patients are being vaccinated. Being able to develop policies around that and having that knowledge base is extremely important. And as you study up, you want to understand why this is needed. Those questions are going to be asked. And so being able to understand the context and that information is really, really important. The last one is managing health record content and document. All things HIM has to deal with management of the patient's record, management of their clinical documentation, whether it's operative report, brief op notes, encounters, visits, a death note. These are things that we see all the time, and you want to be able to manage how it is used, what it is used for, protect that information for the patient. So guys, I hope you found this video to be helpful as you study up for those exams. Make sure you ask questions down below. Knowing what's in your study guides are extremely important, and being able to be successful on your next exam is also important. So I just thought it'll be great to share with you. For those of you who don't have this 9th edition, at least you are able to kind of put 2 and 2 together to see and have a nice understanding of what's going to be covered. For those bulleted topics that I talked about, you want to make sure that you study up on that, read up on that, go get your HIM Bible, watch that video. I posted something on that. Use that to gather more information on these contents that I have mentioned. And I will see you on the next video. Happy studying.